I've got a list of about 23 questions to ask you. All right, so my first question is, why did you decide to become a teacher?
It's a big one. I became a teacher because I wanted to make a difference. There were many people in my life that really showed me different pathways and opportunities that I wouldn't have chosen otherwise. So I felt really indebted to the teachers that really helped me and guided me through my education. So that was one of the reasons. The second reason is that I just really enjoy young children, their thinking, their honesty, and their openness, and I wanted to be part of that and love what I do every day and not just go to work.
Awesome. Okay, so what's your favorite part about being a teacher?
Seeing the growth within the students, not just academically, but also emotionally, watching them grow as people and develop their character traits and watch them develop empathy for others and learn how to interact respectfully with their peers, even in kindergarten. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy. I know I have to give them the academic skills, but more importantly, give them the life skills of how to interact and get along.
Moving on to technology a bit, how do you decide how often to update your blog or make a new post?
Which blog? The professional blog? Or
yeah, your professional blog.
Whenever I feel a blog post in my head, I post it. Okay. So I don't feel that there's a time where I have to do it. When I first started blogging, I felt this responsibility of doing it weekly. And now I just do it when I feel that when I'm reflecting on something and I feel others can learn from it, then I take pretty much the week to think it through, and then I do a blog entry to explain my thinking. My class blog, I kind of just update it whenever I feel there's something exciting to share. I'll grab the moment and share right away with families.
Okay. And do you do that in the class or when you get home? Like, how do you manage your time?
Not very well. No, I do it both. So sometimes I'll do my blog entries, my class blogs on my prep time at school. I find I just don't have the time when I'm with the kids. They get my full attention. Mm-hmm. But I'll definitely be snapping pictures and kind of thinking about what I'll say. And then I'll do that after school. Most times it's once I'm home, had dinner and had a chance to sit down, and when I reflect on the day, then I find I can do a better blog entry for the class entry.
Okay. So when you first started blogging, what did the parents think about it?
I think some of them were initially surprised, and some of them didn't even go online because I don't think they understood what a blog would be or how it would benefit them. So I found I only had a few parents in the very beginning that actually checked the blog and were excited and responding and felt really connected. And I still think that I have a few parents that have never even got onto it. So I now I still do a paper newsletter every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And within my newsletter, I have a column on what's updated on the blog. So I just found that's another way to draw their attention.
Okay.
Many of the parents are not techies like us, and they don't know to follow a blog, so I've given instructions on how to follow and get updates that way. But at this point, I'm still not sure what percentage of parents are actually going on and reading.
Okay. You said you put blog updates in the newsletter itself. Have any of the parents ever commented on what they'd like to be included in regards to technology, or what they would like to not see in the classroom?
No, they're really excited about what to see. And this past Father's Day, we created, I don't call them Father's Day, but Special Someone gifts. I created ebooks with each of the students and then emailed them on the weekend. And got lots of feedback from parents just saying, how much they appreciate the 21st century learning that their child's exposed to even at age 4 and 5. And they're really surprised. I don't think they at all expect students to be able to create with technology. I think our families still see technology as consuming. So I try to work hard and show them that we can create videos and share our learning. We can create books. We can create audio files. So just a way to connect and show them that. So many families have tech, but they don't use it to create. It's just games. And while there's a place for that, they certainly aren't engaging with their students or at home in a meaningful way. So I feel that's my opportunity to model that and to share. And got really good feedback.
Okay. And like when you teach the students about apps, I know you said on your, I think it was your professional blog, that you have apps the kids use in class, and when they had their BYOD days, they would bring in the devices. But would they, when they went home, would they continue to use the apps, or did they just go home and play the games?
They actually did use the same apps, and I had parents come and say, little boy Cameron in my grade 3 class, his mom came in and said he had a play date, and the boy sat on the front step using Story Wheel, and it's just this little app where you spin and it gives you parts of a story. So it gives you the setting, a character, and an activity. And so they just kept spinning the wheel, coming up with things, and then telling stories. And so it was really neat to see them going home and trying the same thing. And same with Puppet Pals, doing different stories at home. So I definitely saw a transfer.
How did you develop your professional learning network on Twitter?
Well, like everything, you need someone to guide you. So I had the digital native, I don't know if you know Colin Harris, but he actually signed us up one day while we were at a workshop together, and I really didn't think I would do it. So that's why it ended up being a silly Twitter name of Techie Ange. But I just wanted to play around, and I didn't think I would really engage in it. Following him, and then a few people like Alec Bruce and then Dean, just getting a feel for different people and what's happening, and then meeting them at conferences, that really expanded what my professional learning could look like. And then I ended up joining in with different teachers, and it's just kind of who I know someone. So there's a lot of introductions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of you have to know somebody that will introduce you in Twitter and help you find your pathway in Twitter.
How did you find other classrooms to Skype with? Is just through the PLN?
Yeah, I didn't go on. I went into, the Skype in the classroom, and I did sign up, but I found the Twitter network was faster. And so I looked for different hashtags. And how it really started was the Faraway Fridays.
Okay.
So it was the Dr. Seuss Day, right? And I just tweeted out and said, would anyone like to read to my class? And then all of a sudden there was people going, sure, I love Dr. Seuss, I'll read. And it was a non-threatening way to engage with a class. So it was just people that I had, tweeted with and had shared experiences. They jumped on and started Skyping. And then started following different hashtags like Kinder Chat. And we have one in the New York region called Kinder YR. So they're all our kindergarten teachers within our own district. And I'll put out a little tweet asking, if anyone wants to do that, and they respond. So that's been my fastest way to get people to Skype with us. I'm also an Apple Distinguished Educator, so I have another network of people across the world that I've met in Ireland 2 years ago. And so I was able to connect with a few of them, one of them in Switzerland, and say, can you join in and Skype with us? And they're always happy to do so.
That's awesome. So when you Skype in, do you ever Skype professionals from different areas?
Not at this point. Part of it is that not having the connections to those people.
Okay.
We've tried to get different authors, but there's always a fee. And I find at our school we just don't have the money for that.
Okay.
So I'm looking for more people that I have a relationship with. And I have to say, in terms of the Skype calls, there has to be a really specific focus, and relationships are important. So having the kids connect to a project like the We Can See project gives much more meaning for them than just Skyping in and watching something. Now, having said that, we did watch a lot of the webcasts with Chris Hadfield, so we are engaging. My kids couldn't understand why he wouldn't talk back to us. So, it's not really Skype, he's talking to the world, and they just expected him to interact. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, more or less just using my PLN and trying to get them to connect with our class.
Cool. My next question is, do you have any advice for new teachers on how to begin incorporating technology into day-to-day activities?
Yeah, to start out, first of all, you have to have a purpose. Okay. So don't use the technology just because it's there. Always know what you want to do and what you want to accomplish with it first, and then just take a risk. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. And even my own students will say, maybe it'll work today, maybe it won't, and that's okay. So they're already developing that mentality of, you have to understand that not everything works with tech. And I think new teachers have to realize that they have to give themselves permission to let things fail. You come out of the faculty thinking you've got to be the superstar and do it all right. Well, technology doesn't always work. Networks go down. Lots of things happen. So to start out, you have to say, okay, we're going to try this class, and it may or may not work, and this is what we're going to do. And always have a lesson in your back pocket. So I think that's really where new teachers get in trouble, is they plan out a really great tech lesson, and then something doesn't work, and they get flustered, and then they lose classroom management. Problems that start happening. So always, if you're planning a technology thing, know exactly what you're going to do if it doesn't work, and have that lesson ready.
Okay. So do the students have access to the iPads and iTouches all the time?
Yes.
Do they always have one with them?
They're always in the classroom.
Okay.
And I have them out, and what I've taught my students in, both in grade 2 and 3 and now in kindergarten, is that they're tools for learning, so that we do different things with them at different times of the day.
Okay.
So when they enter first thing in the morning, they're using it for word study, because that's our word study time. When they're doing it during literacy time, then they need to have a literacy task or a writing task on it. Later during math, they know that there's a folder for the math activities, and I may give them a choice of 2 of the apps. So it is structured just like my day would be. The technology use is structured, so it's not just come in and grab and do whatever they want at any time of the day.
So what is their favorite tool? Is it the iPads, or is it a certain app?
The favorite tool in the classroom, or favorite technology tool?
Yeah, technology tool.
Technology tool? I'd have to say the iPad for sure. And in regards to apps that they like to use, right now Letter School is one of their favorite word study apps.
Okay.
And they really like in kindergarten, they really like the dramatic play apps. So getting them to work together. So there's My Play Home. I don't know if you know that one, but it's actually a digital playhouse. And so they can move the people around. They can turn the shower on and off. They have the radio that goes on. And so they can story tell, but they can work with a partner on it. So I find they gravitate more to things that they can do together, where you see a lot of kids just using the screen by themselves. I've tried to show them how you need to interact with a person in the class with it too. And then I'm modeling in large group how to interact with others outside of our classroom. But I want them to see the tech as a tool for socialization, not just to do something on their own.
That's really cool. So I was reading in one of your first blog posts on your professional blog about how it was such a pain to keep everything updated. So have you found a better way to do that?
In the beginning, there wasn't a better way. It was all syncing. So now the iTunes store itself allows you to update much better within the iTunes store. I'm still not good at it. My husband just said to me on Sunday, "You have 55 apps you need to update." I'm like, I know. So it's not that important. It's not really a priority. It's when I'm using an app and I know that it needs to be updated, then I'll go in and update that specific one. But it's not something that I use. I use too much of my time to update. I just don't find that it's something I need to do.
Okay.
It would be good if I got my kids to do it on a regular basis, but I haven't got to that training part yet.
Okay, cool.